What is up, Teach Better family? My name is Jeff. It's 5 o'clock here in the Eastern Time Zone, which means this is your Teach Better Brain Break for Wednesday, what is the date? March 9th, 2022. I've got Dave Schmitto, Dr. Dave here, and our good friend, special guest, Tisha Richmond joining us today for all the shenanigans. We're going to talk about life and maybe play a game, maybe goof around a little bit, but we're going to have some fun. So drop the comments. Let us know that you're here with us. Let us know where you watching from, what are you drinking or snacking on, and what are you taking a break from? We'll be back in about 15 seconds. Okay, welcome to Brain Break. We're here. It's Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. Dave, always good to see you. Tisha, awesome to see you. So excited to have you here.
Super excited to be here. I've been excited all week.
Dave, I feel like we should just go right into the fact that we should be talking about Tisha at this point, right?
Like that should be what we talk about.
Do you and I even need to be here anymore? Like
nobody cares that we're here for sure.
Okay, great. So just in case though, that someone doesn't know you, I'm going to go right into that. Let's start with just a real typical Tisha, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Yes. Well, I'm Tisha Richmond. I live in Southern Oregon, and I am a student engagement and professional development specialist. Super long name. That's really hard.
Super cool title.
In the Medford School District. So I serve 20 schools and the teachers and students, and I love it. It's so fun. And I've been in education like 25 years. I was a culinary arts teacher for a very long time, and then moved into this role at the district about 4 years ago. And I just started also as a Canva learning consultant. So I get to work with districts and help train them on how to use the amazing Canva for education.
So basically you were just living the dream of every educator. You start off in culinary arts. Now you're student engagement. And give me the whole title again?
Student engagement and professional development specialist.
Okay, so you're helping engage students and you're helping script the professional development for staff, and that's amazing. And to have an amazing person doing it, and you also get to work in Canva, and you get to hang out with me and Jeff. I mean, seriously, does it?
Last one was maybe the anchor bringing it down.
And you have to hang out with me and Jeff no, seriously, you are just living a life. You're living the dream.
It's pretty fun
in all facets. And you're up in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Tisha, where are you located for everybody?
Southern Oregon. So right over the California border. If you go over the Siskiyou Mountains and drop into the valley,
So you really do like this. You were doing this, but you do go over the mountains and
drop over the mountains and you drop into the valley. And that's why we are encapsulated by fires most summers lately, because we're just socked in when the fires come. But it's beautiful. It's a really beautiful part of the United States. We have lots of lakes and pine trees and rivers, and the Oregon coast is beautiful. Just a 2.5-hour drive from here. If you are into Shakespeare, we live really close to Ashland, which is the home of the Shakespeare Festival. So there's that's kind of what we're known for, is the little town, the little Shakespearean town that's right to the south of us.
So hypothetically, if somebody was not into Shakespeare, what else might they be intrigued by? Hypothetically, of course.
Yeah. So, we are not a bustling city, metropolitan area down here by any stretch of the imagination, but we do have a lot of vineyards. We're kind of known for.
So wine.
Yeah, a lot of wine. Oh. We have.
Next time, just for the record,
start with that. And Tisha, how long have you been in education?
25 plus years.
And another people. Well, I'm gonna go back to Oregon, but you're also an author, so I want to make sure we touch on that as well. But yes. Dave, have you ever been out there? Have you been to Oregon at all?
I have been to Oregon.
You have been. I have never been.
I want to just let Dave know that he said it correctly, Jeff.
What did I say?
Oregon.
What's the proper way to say it?
Oregon.
How is it spelled?
Oregon.
Oh, okay. So O's make N's E sounds now? Is that what it is? Is that?
Hey, Jeff, do me a favor. Spell the word gone. Spell the word gone.
Gone?
Spell it, yeah.
Gone.
Tisha, is there an E at the end of Oregon? No. So it is not Oregon. Oregon.
That's a good, yeah. It's very common.
That actually doesn't make any sense because typically when there's E would make it an O, not an on anyway.
You blame Mr. English, the guy that developed the English language. He messed it up, not me.
All I'm saying is if you show people how to the word Oregon, they're going to say Oregon 9 out of 10 times because that's how it's spelled.
Somewhere between Denver and Wisconsin, they've gotten it mixed up, and people call it Oregon. It seems like
I have that when I moved to the area I am now. One of the next like town over is Talmadge, but it's spelled Tallmad, which is Talmadge. So when I moved in, I called it Talmadge because that's how I read it, and people would they get it like offended, and I'm like, what? And they're like, it's Talmadge. I'm like, actually, no, it's Talmadge. You're just saying it incorrectly. Like, I'll say it the way you want me to because it's your town, not mine. But just so you know, it's not Talmadge or Talmadge. It's Talmadge. It's hard for me to say it now at this point. So,
right. It's all good.
So it's Oregon. I probably say it both ways depending on where I'm speaking or what I'm saying or whatever. So
no, I think you always get it wrong. That's okay.
There's a good chance.
That's okay. So Tisha, right across the border from California, I'm going to go sports here. Are you like a Portland fan because you have to have the state loyalty, or is it like Oakland, San Francisco, Northern California stuff that people root for there?
Yeah, so we are big either Oregon Ducks or Oregon Beavers fans. Yeah. Like usually people are either very Ducks or very Beavers. I am kind of I'm not super into sports, and so I don't get really I don't really get bent out of shape one way or the other. I'm not on like one team. I'm always rooting for Ducks or always rooting for Beavers. But those are really the two teams that most people.
Okay, so I can still convert you is what you're saying.
What's that?
I can still convert you and get you to start rooting for like Detroit sports teams or the Michigan Wolverines, stuff like that.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's people who don't care about sports are typically who's going to root for them. So that makes sense.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Fair enough.
I typically go for the underdogs, to be honest.
Oh, either Detroit or Cleveland. Either way, you're in good company here. That's for sure.
That's awesome.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about because you are an author as well. So you listed like cool titles, working with Canva. Ray's in the comments now. We weren't supposed to tell Ray that Tisha works with Canva now. But tell us about the book.
Yeah,
because that's a thing you did.
It is a thing I did, and I'm super I still have to pinch myself when I see it at our local bookstore. And it's really great to be published with Dave Burgess Consulting. My title is Make Learning Magical. It's how to transform your teaching and create unforgettable experiences for students. And I have had just a kind of a wild journey. I was a burnout teacher back in 2014, and I was ready to leave education. And so Make Learning Magical is really about my journey to really finding that spark again and that joy in teaching and learning. And when that spark came, when I really started realizing that I'm having fun with this again, I realized that there were 7 keys that really unlocked that magic in my classroom. And so my book kind of talks about my story and then breaks down those keys into the magical acronym. So M is for memorable beginnings, A is for authenticity and agency, G is for gamified experiences, I is innovation, C is creativity, curiosity, and collaboration, A is authentic audience, and L is legacy. And so I just talk about each of those pieces and how important they were to transforming what learning looked like in my classroom.
So it's super cool, first of all.
Thank you.
I first read it maybe 4 years ago. It was multiple years ago, and at the time, I was completely captivated and engaged in it. But you mentioned one of the things that prompted this was the lack of feeling inspired, feeling burnt out, feeling overwhelmed, which I'm sure is nothing that people can relate to today.
Right.
But again, just put yourself in this magical world where we'll have to take ourselves back 8 years ago when people actually felt that way. Do you feel like it's something that people today, if for some reason they were feeling overwhelmed, if for some reason they were just feeling swamped and everything, they might be able to pick up and say, yeah, this might help me get through and actually thrive?
100%. I think about that all of the time. And though we're in times that are very different than what I was in then, a lot of the feelings that I see teachers experiencing are very, very similar to what I was feeling back then. And it brings me back. And it actually just really, I have so much empathy for teachers right now because they are just burnt out, exhausted, frustrated, all of those emotions that I had felt very intensely at the time. And so absolutely 100%, I think that the book would definitely would inspire and help spark some joy for those teachers who are feeling those feelings. And really it's written for K through 12 educators. I mean, any educator, leader, coach, you really, I think, can find something in there that will be helpful for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Can I ask, because you mentioned that you still have to pinch yourself, and it's been out for, how many years has it been out now? Because it's been out for a while.
2018.
Okay, so for a few years now, and I love that you still say you still have to remind yourself that actually happened. Yeah. So my guess is, based on that you weren't, in 2015, you weren't like, oh, I'm gonna write a book here and it's gonna happen and all this. So, and the reason I'm going here is because I know people who watch and listen to this, there's a lot of teachers who have maybe thought about that. Maybe that'd be something they think is really cool, but they do this I'm not sure I have anything to share, not that So then I'd love to ask sort of if you can tell us the lead up to how the book happened. I know the reason why, but how did you actually how did you publish with Dave Burgess? How did you actually get into that? How did you talk yourself out of the self-doubt that we all have of my story isn't actually magical? Not to be words there.
It's been just taking leaps out of my comfort zone. It's really what it's all been about. I mean, I started to get connected. I mean, that was huge. Getting connected on Twitter. I co-moderated a Twitter chat with Michael Matera for, I think, 2 to 3 years, and really started to get to know people in education that I would have never connected with before. I started to share things that I was doing in my classroom. I started to learn what other people were doing, and then taking that into my teaching and learning experience and making that my own and figuring out what that looked like in culinary arts. I started to reflect on what I was doing, and I started to write a blog post and share. That was a huge, I remember when I started writing a blog, that was a huge leap for me. I was scared to death of pushing publish on that blog post. And I didn't share, I didn't share it on Twitter. I remember not sharing it on Twitter at first. I would just publish it and be I
hope nobody sees this.
I don't know. Yeah. And then I started getting more and more brave, and finally I started to tweet it out. And it's just been those little leaps out of my comfort zone that has built courage. A podcast, that was never something that I ever thought I would do, but I just enjoyed having conversations with other educators like yourself. And so I'm like, this is fun. I get to talk to people about education and be in this space in a new way. And so, it's wild to really think about.
Yeah. I love
just
that.
The journey from that time in 2014 where I was ready to leave education. It's been an amazing, amazing journey so far.
I'm so happy that I asked that, because I love the lesson of just find these little things to get out of your comfort zone to build that bravery. And then, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've got to ask a follow-up. What is it like to have that censor button on yourself where you realize that you shouldn't just take all of your thoughts and tweet them out, that you should pause for a few minutes? How do you develop that characteristic? Because
more importantly, how do we help Dave get that? That'd be great. We could really use that.
No, but in all seriousness, I want to go back to your culinary arts, and I know that this is still something that is in your wheelhouse and one of your specialties. Jeff, I'm going to ask you a follow-up question. The same question I'm going to ask Tisha. What is your go-to meal? when you're like just feeling like, oh, I'm gonna make my favorite thing. So, I'll share mine. Mine is a plate of Doritos with shredded cheese, salsa, and jalapenos. Throw it in the microwave, all combined for a minute. And it comes out just gooey and soft and
On
delicious.
Doritos?
So,
like which?
Oh,
Cool Ranch?
No, not
Or
Cool Ranch. Cool Ranch and salsa doesn't go well. But
nacho cheese Doritos?
You can take like the spicy ones. You can take just regular nacho cheese. Yeah, but you're welcome, by the way, when you try that out tonight.
But that's your go-to for you to eat or for you to like make, like if someone was like, make me your best dish, like which one do you go?
It's the same thing. I mean, if people are coming to my house for dinner and
you're making them Doritos,
it's Doritos on a plate with shredded cheddar cheese.
That sounds delicious. I want that right now.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Well,
Jeff's like, I'm never coming over. No, that's like I'm sitting around watching a game or it's
sure.
the munchies type of thing. But it's my go-to. That and pancakes are the two things I can cook. So
So chicken enchiladas is my favorite comfort food to make, and I never am happy when I go get them out. Here's the difference. When I make chicken enchiladas, I put cheese inside. And no one does that. No one puts cheese inside.
They put it on the top.
Right. Yeah. Like I think cheese goes in with the chicken. So I love my chicken enchiladas. When you were talking about the nachos, what it reminds me of is my mom, when I was growing up, instead of just doing a plate of nachos and like throwing the chips in the center and the cheese and all of that, she would lay out the chips on a cookie sheet, and she would just put a little piece of cheese and a little green chili on each one. And I was thinking, I don't know why she took so much time instead of just throwing it all on a thing, but I love doing that. If I really am feeling like nachos, I'll do the very same thing. I lay them out in a single layer.
Yeah, if I do nachos, I'll lay them out on a cookie, like a cookie sheet, like a bacon sheet, and then
I don't put one in the cheese. In the microwave though.
I sprinkle cheese all over the place. It cooks different. It's crispier. They're more. Yeah, to me they taste more like a restaurant baked nacho than they do.
Yeah. Right. If you put them in,
it takes a little longer. There's a patience thing there too, right? It makes it tasty.
There's a patience, but you just put them in the broiler because
it doesn't take much.
When you put them under the broiler, the tortillas get extra crispy and the cheese gets kind of crispy. Where if you put them in the microwave, you don't get the same effect.
No.
So I think you should try it.
So just for the record, for anybody that's driving home right now and they're listening to this or whatever, we're sorry, or you're welcome, whatever the case may be. But okay, broiler. Now, if I feel like the broiler adds more dishes too, and it seems like it's harder to clean.
Just put a piece of aluminum foil down on the cookie sheet. Then you just throw it out. You're done.
Got it. See, I'm definitely about speed and ease with.
You're not gonna see. My go-to is ribs.
Oh.
Which take me about an hour to prep. Then they sit in my fridge for at least 23 hours, and I cook them for 6 hours. So definitely not. That's not my go-to when I'm snacking. But that's if someone wants me to make something, I'm making my ribs.
So do you have a smoker or something? Why 6
No,
hours?
actually, I don't have a smoker. I've just never went for that route. I do them all in the oven, and then finish them on the grill. Or if it's cold or whatever, I'll finish them in the oven. And honestly, no one usually can't taste the difference. But
that was my birthday meal growing up. Whenever my mom asked me what I wanted for my birthday meal, it was always barbecue ribs.
Yep. I do. So yeah, I typically when we do them, I do 3 racks for my little 4-person family with 2 kids that don't. But because Jacqueline loves the barbecue, Jonathan doesn't. So I just do my seasoning through that. But then I'll do one that's a mix and stuff. I love them.
My gosh,
I'm hungry right now. Like that, I'm like, how can I make ribs tonight? Really?
Oh, you can. Now you can make them for tomorrow.
I'm gonna make them. Apparently, I'm gonna make them in the microwave. Is what I'm gonna do. See, that's call Dave later.
That was one you have to know that's gonna be what you're craving tomorrow before you start making it today.
Oh no, Dave. I am always craving ribs. I don't have to know or guess. Now, if I have to go emergency, I was trying to think what's my emergency thing? It's gonna be chips and salsa. It's super simple. That's my quick snack. I just have just the Tostitos chips and salsa, or I'll do throw some cheese on and put them in.
And now it's gonna be Doritos. I'm telling you, try it.
Now it might be Doritos. We'll see if that happens. Interesting. Wow. Okay, good conversation, and I think I know the answer to the question, Dave, of what you're thinking right now. It's food.
I'm starving right now.
But what do you say? We're gonna move into our segment, which is called "What You Think" when we talk about what's on our mind. Cool.
that music. But welcome back, everybody, to Brain Break. We are streaming live on all the things: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, LinkedIn, like literally all the things. We're there hanging out with you. And we're at my favorite segment of Brain Break, which is what you thinking? We sit around and talk about the things that are on your mind and what you're wrestling with and what's going on. And we just got done talking about food and nachos. So right now, that's definitely in the back of my mind. Yeah, right?
That's what Andrew is thinking.
Yeah.
Definitely thinking about food. But more than that, anybody know what happens 80 days from right now? Not that I have a countdown going or anything, but 80 days from right now. I'll just tell you. Top Gun 2.
Oh, is that when
finally comes out?
Finally comes out. Wow.
Top Gun 2, people.
Wow.
Only took them 40 years.
Well,
It has
3 years.
May
When
27th, Top Gun 2 comes out. So what am I thinking? What I'm thinking right now is I can't remember the last time I had a movie that I was anticipating and waiting and
That
so
long for.
hungry to go see. And I had this feeling since right before Teachers Deserve It.
I was going to say it was forever ago. We've had this
Because-
conversation multiple times on
Yep.
Brain Break.
Because TDI and Top Gun were supposed to be coming out at the same
Mhm.
time. I was super excited for both. And then one did and the other didn't. And I've just been like holding on and holding on. It's like Thanksgiving that just got kicked down the road 2 years. And it's not cool. It's not fair. So I'm curious if you were to think back or right now, has there ever been a movie that you've just been super excited to see, that you've just been anticipating, like, I've got to go see it, and then I need to know if it lived up to the hype?
I've got one in my head. Tish, what do you have one or no?
Because I have to think about it for a
Bad
second.
Boys 2.
Ooh.
So Bad Boys is one of my favorite movies ever. And then, so when I was younger, late teens, early 20s, there's a group of us guys that did 4 years. We went down to the beach, got a beach house, did that thing. And the one year we were down there, it came out on that Friday. Bad Boys 2 did, and we'd all been waiting for it. So on our last day at the beach, where you're supposed to like soak up the beach the entire day, we took a few hours out and went and watched Bad Boys 2 at the movie theater at the beach, because we were like, and it lived up to it. I actually like Bad Boys 2 better.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm a big Bad Boys fan. I'm
Not a huge fan of the last. I'm not a huge fan of the last one. I wasn't. I don't.
Bad Boys
feel
for
like-
life. Come on.
I don't.
I
Think
don't.
I've seen
I
it.
don't like how they did it. I don't like the route they went.
Okay.
I don't like the whole like, oh, it was someone trying to get Mike versus them just solving like an act. Like I just,
Okay. Fair enough.
it was too much Mike Lowry like making him the thing.
I
But
got
2, oh, that was great. The boat on the freeway and the parking deck. Tisha's sitting there going, I don't think I get this excited about movies ever.
I haven't. Well, I was just thinking about the fact that I remember, like when I was in high school and college, like I feel like I anticipated every movie. Like I would just get so excited.
Okay, so what's one of those? Give us one from when you were in high school. Like, what's
I mean, Top Gun was one that I was. Is that totally dating me? Yeah, that one was.
I wasn't in high school.
Well,
when
you're
that came out.
dating. I don't know if it's fair for me to say you're dating me too.
No,
That
that's
sounds
it.
weird, but yeah, we're the same age, so I get it. Yeah,
When did Top Gun come out?
86.
Yeah, so I was 4. So I definitely wasn't in high school anticipating it.
Wow, that hurts.
I watched it, like, I love that movie. But
Yeah, I loved that. I loved Molly Ringwald movies as
Oh.
like when I was in high school. I loved those movies when they came out. Anything with Julia Roberts,
okay.
I used to love when they came out. I loved the Born Identities.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that's definitely a series. Yeah, I think I got excited about those too.
Yeah, and isn't there one coming out soon that's like part? I thought there was one coming out that I thought was kind of part of that. I don't
with
know. I
the
don't-
bringing Matt Damon back, because there was 1 or 2 that came out after that was with what's his name? That's Hawkeye now. Jeremy Renner.
maybe I
Right?
don't know.
Didn't he do? Wasn't he one? I think he did a Bourne one, and that was where I'm like, Jason Bourne's. It's gotta be Jason Bourne.
You hit on like the idea that it's got to be like Matt Damon, because for me, like on that note, like a Tom Hanks movie, if Tom Hanks is in a movie, I'm like, I've got to go see it.
Oh yeah,
Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I love Tom Hanks. Yeah, for sure.
He's fantastic. Yes.
Hmm.
Who? Okay, that's a good question though. Tisha, who's that? Listen, obviously, I think everyone agrees. If you don't feel that way about Tom Hanks, like unfriend me in life, just altogether. Who? So Molly Ringwald, Julia Roberts. Are there others that are those types of actors or actresses that like you're like, if they're in it, I'm at least gonna give it a shot.
Yeah, Meg Ryan.
Okay.
I haven't seen a Meg Ryan movie in a long time, but I've always loved Meg Ryan movies.
Is she still alive?
I
haven't heard from Meg Ryan since
I don't know that she's doing a whole lot.
I know. I was just thinking, I can't even think of the last movie she was in. That shows you that I don't go to the movies. I don't go to the movies very often. I was telling my husband that the other day. We were walking by a restaurant that we like to go to that, walk right by the front box office. And it's like, we have not been to a movie since before COVID started. And
they play movies in other ways. Like you watch them on TV and stuff now.
But it's just a different experience. Like the actual, because I remember.
Well, but you can still get excited about the actors and actresses even if it's not there, though, right? I mean,
what's that?
Like you can still get excited about the movies,
totally.
even if they're on.
The movie theater experience is different, though. Like I remember, like when I walked by with my husband the other night, just smelling the popcorn, and it's just like
nothing like it.
It's an experience, right? Like when you go and you get your candy from the Walgreens down the street and bring it in, and I don't know. Do you not get your candy elsewhere?
No.
Okay.
So we used to.
I do it. I don't announce it to the world on the internet. Just say
So we used to always do. We'd go to Mr. Balky's Candy. I don't know if you guys had those. I don't know if that's a chain thing or whatever. It was we'd go scoop like it. It was all the big things of candy, so you could get the big one, like big bags of them. But not now. In the last, I don't know. We went to one not too long ago with the kids. We love taking the kids. But when the four of us go, it's like it's $100 to go to the movies because of course we're getting the big popcorns.
Right.
And now they sell beer in the movie theaters. Are you kidding me?
That's without even buying any beer, Dave. Believe it or not.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the things. Okay. This weekend I'm having ribs. I'm having nachos.
I know we're getting.
Go see the Batman.
We'll make enchiladas.
Are you gonna go see that? Are you? You get in the comic book and superhero stuff, Tisha, like a Batman? Are you?
No, I mean I enjoy those movies, but I'm not like I wouldn't say I'm into them.
If Meg Ryan is in it, she might go see it, right?
I need to know what she's been in. When's the last time she was in? Where is some of the comments look up when Meg Ryan was last in a movie?
And if she has passed on, please let us know so we can stop this humor.
Dave, keep talking. I'm going to find out right now. Like you guys do whatever you want to. This is what we do on Brain Break. It's okay if I'm not here.
It's all good. No, we're just thinking. We're just thinking. So aside from movies and anticipation, things like that, Tisha, I'm curious.
Yeah.
You think about the summer and being able to move around a little bit more and getting out there and experiencing life a little bit more. What are you excited about this summer? What's coming up in your world this summer?
Yeah, this summer I'm excited about going to ISTE. I'm planning against New Orleans this summer, so super excited about that. I am going to go. I think I'm going to be going to Nashville. So I'm excited about that.
That rings of girls trip. Is that what's happening in Nashville? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And let's see. We have a family reunion in Montana.
Ooh.
Which my cousin lives on a ranch. So that will be super fun. I've never experienced that before. So yeah, that's super fun. And I'm actually like, it's hard for me to look towards summer because I get to go to Q next week in Palm Springs and then Tibet. So in London. So I am like so amped and so excited that I can't hardly stand it.
So California, but then Tibet and London? What are you doing there? So
I'm gonna be there speaking. So with the Canva team.
Wow.
So I'm super excited. Yeah.
So when do you go to Palm Springs?
Next week.
Okay, because I'm going to Palm Springs, but it's not till the end of April. So tell me how it is. Let me know whether I should actually go or not.
Yeah, Palm Springs is supposed to be nice. It's supposed to be 80s, nice. I believe. So
I heard there's some palm trees there. There might even be some springs. So be ready.
So more importantly, Meg Ryan last started a movie in 2015 called Ithaca. She was then also in a TV series in 2018 called Picture Paris. I don't know.
Has it really been that long?
2015 was the last movie, and then Yeah.
And then she realized that Tisha wasn't going to the movies anymore. So what was the point? So
what do you think? I'm trying to think of like one of the big movies that she's been in that like people would know. And I'm looking and like, it's like City of Angels, 1998.
That's funny. That's true.
Was
I hadn't thought
Nick
about
Cage in that one? Is that what am I thinking the right one?
Is it Nick Cage?
Nick Cage.
Is he the one in City of Angels?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Nick Cage, isn't
Okay.
it? Let me see. Yes, he's the angel, right? Isn't he an angel?
Yeah. Okay.
All I know is that movie gave us Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. Like that's all that really matters. So
fair enough.
Now I'm gonna binge watch Meg Ryan movies over the weekend.
you got your ribs,
You
your
got two to watch.
nachos,
Yep.
your beer, and your Meg Ryan. You'll be good to go.
Okay.
All right, Dave, you want to play a game?
Oh, I would love to play a game. Does Tisha want to play a game?
Tish, you want to play a game?
I always want to play a game.
All right, let's
ready?
play a game. All right.
Your transitions are so legit.
That was fun. I'm like enjoying the music. I'm like dancing back here, forgetting that we're back on screen now.
It's like
We are back, and we're here every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern time on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. Dave, what do we got today? What did Brianne give us? So this is the cool part. Is Brianne Fennell, if you don't know Bri, she's the author of Play Yay and a whole bunch of other books with Play that I'm going to say that incorrectly. But we were like, hey, Bri, can you come up with the games for us to play? And Bri's like, here's 5,000. So she tells us what to play, and then we do our best to play it the right way. So Dave, what are we playing
Let me give a little bit more context to that, because we played games on here before.
Yeah,
but they're normally Dave games, and we were like, let's come up with some good games now.
They're just like whatever you had laying around that your family doesn't want to play anymore.
Pretty much, yeah. We were getting ready to roll up Monopoly this week, and we thought that probably won't translate very well. So now, correct me if I'm wrong on this stuff. Bri is also like taking the directions for these games and turning them into blog posts or something so people can see them, right?
Yes, if you go to teachbetter.com/brainbreak, you'll be able to see the game. So every time she creates a game for us to use, she's sharing it to us via this blog post. Because what our hope is that you can use these games and use them in your classroom. So she breaks down how to set them up, what kind of prep you need, and then how you'd play it. And then Dave and I do our best to put it into the Brain Break world as well. So like if you were in charge of like 20 schools and student engagement, these might be some things that you might want to bring back to could be.
So just saying. All right, so Tisha, this one I'm super excited about. It's titled Press Conference, and I know you're big time. You're this magical superstar in the educational world, so you're used to performing on a press conference. You're used to having the media surround you. The paparazzi follows you all over South Oregon. I get it. So just pretend like this is novel and new to you, okay? Pretend that you're not an expert in how press conferences are supposed to be conducted. Can you agree to do that? Just pretend?
Absolutely.
Okay. So for the rest of us, though, we're just going to be incomplete all of you in this press conference. Now, this is a cool game that can be played a lot of different ways. But the way that we're going to do it today is Jeff and I are going to pretend that we are members of the media. And we are interviewing you. Now, the catch is, though, Tisha, you are not Tisha Richmond when we play this game. You are a person that only Jeff Gargas and I know. We have conspired ahead of time. We have come up with a person, a character, a thing, and we're going to be asking you questions as if you are that thing and you have no idea who you are. Your goal is to answer the question and also try to guess who you are at the same time. It's an interesting game. And
it sounds so crazy when you say it that way. Like really not.
That's basically how it is. So we ask you questions that are specific to you and who
to the character that you're trying to figure out.
Who it is that you're representing. So it could be like a historical figure. It could be somebody from pop culture. It could be a fictitious character. Whatever the case may be. We're going to be asking you questions, and we're curious what your answers are because, again, you're this big time person. And other people can play along if they want to. And
so if I could set the stage, so like in the classroom, what you do is Tisha would be one student, we'd be other students, but Tisha would go out in the hallway. We would figure out amongst the group like who Tisha's character is and what we're going to ask her. And then coming in, now us students, which is going to be Dave and I, would be asking you the questions, and Tisha needs to guess. But also, if you're watching along with us, you can also guess and try to figure out who she is. So It's kind of twofold what you can do here. It's just like our questions can guide you to who it is, but also potentially you could, I don't know. I'm trying to think, I'm like, how can you answer the question and try to get more, but we'll find out. So essentially the questions are supposed to guide you there. And I'm interested to hear how you answer them, not knowing who you're supposed to be. Are you up for this?
Me too. Yeah, I'm a little stressed, but let's do this.
Dave, which one are we going for? Are we going for 1, 2, or 3?
I think that your 2 are better than mine. So can we start with mine? I feel like that's a softball easy one to get us warmed up.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Go ahead.
All right. Are you ready for this?
I don't know.
So
but...
you're at the podium, you got all the mics, and Dave's the first reporter that gets called on.
First of all, thank you so much for being here today. I'm sure it's difficult to step out. I don't even know if that's what you did to get here. I'm not quite sure how you got here today, but I'm super glad that you're here. And I know it can be awkward. It can be embarrassing at times to have all the lights on you. So I'm just wondering right now, as I look at you, do you naturally blush or are you extremely embarrassed right now?
Yeah, no, I don't get embarrassed super easily. I mean,
oh, sorry, just the red. Maybe it's natural. I thought you were blushing.
Yeah.
I apologize.
The redness did kind of get you. Yeah.
So you don't embarrass easily.
I have a question. Is it awkward when like strangers and people like come up and just tickle you all the time randomly, like in stores and other people's houses and stuff? Like, is it weird?
I know who it is. Can I guess?
No, you don't know who it is. You know who you are.
Oh.
I'm glad you're comfortable with who you are.
Yes.
Who are you?
It's a little awkward. It makes me feel a little uneasy when I'm tickled all the time. I don't love it, but I put up with it.
I think it's cute how you let people do it and then you just like roll all over the place and it is.
Yeah.
It's super
It is cute. Yeah.
Do Big Bird or do Grover or any of those guys ever come up to you and tickle you, or is it?
No, they don't really. They used to, but not anymore.
Tisha, who are you?
Elmo.
You and Brianna got it. So
Tickle
yes. So that's how it works.
Got it.
That was what I guess we're considering that our softball.
That was the easy one. Yeah, that was easy.
Softball. Okay. All right.
Let's stick with easy.
This one may or may not be. Number 1, we'll go to number 1 next. Not quite as easy, but you're back on the podium. We appreciate you being here. We know you were highly sought after. You're super busy. Just a big name in the industry. So I'm curious, how do you feel when and how did it feel when people started acting like they had something to say and just kind of forgot about you? Like, how did that make you feel?
Yeah, I was super bummed about it. It just really really hurt my feelings.
I'd be bummed too. Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't love it.
Yeah.
Question. Can you tell us how your dog is doing? Your DOGG.
He's doing better now. I mean,
he's better now. That's good.
For a long time, but he seemed to recover okay.
Yeah, for chisel. Yeah.
That's good. So another question over here. To your knowledge, are their heads still ringing? Did you keep them or did they stop? Did you keep them ringing or did they stop ringing?
Did the what's what?
Their heads. Their heads. Are they still ringing or no?
No, they've stopped.
They've stopped. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know.
About 2 months ago.
I got one. Yeah. Can you let me know? Is it like this or like that or like this, Senna, or is it like this or like that or like this?
It's like this and like that and like this and.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Do you know who you are?
Yes, but I can't think of the name. But
Are you a real doctor?
Possibly. How was the Super Bowl? I saw you at the Super Bowl. You were you were sort of part of the show. I don't know.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of the name.
You're Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre. Yeah.
See, I didn't know. I'm like, Dave's like, well, that might be tough. I'm like, I don't know if she knows the music or not.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew the song, but I couldn't.
Well, Dave basically sang the song. Yeah. I wasn't sure. He's like, all right, depending on, but your age range from what you showed us earlier would have been good. He was a good fit for us.
Yeah.
Those of you that are older than me.
Yeah, I was, high school. I was New Edition, Bobby Brown.
Okay.
There you go.
Not quite to that row.
Raw bass and DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So see, you're from the age when the DJ mattered more than the rapper, right? Yeah.
Right.
I like it. Yeah.
It's funny. Wow, that was a little stressful, but good job.
You got through it. Okay, we have one more that I do think will be easier, I hope.
Okay.
Dave, you want the first or second here?
Do we have to go in order?
I don't think so, but I did put them in order because I do think as I went further, I felt like they got a little easier. But
can I
the
ask
third question could go anyway?
Script. Can I ask questions?
Sure. Yeah. Oh yeah. You know this person well enough. I think we know this person well enough.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. I guess my first question is it always cold in Wisconsin?
Yeah, it is all of the time.
Oh,
it's cheese everywhere too.
Oh, okay.
So you've actually been on Brain Break with us in the past. Do you plan on joining us again?
Yeah.
That's good. Good. Great. We always have a good time. You're always willing to step up and play games and stuff. It's
I'm glad you're asking now.
Typically have a drink too.
Schedule and saw that you were already scheduled, so that's good.
Oh yeah, that's right. You are. Yes, that's true. That's true.
So I'm curious because you've published several books. Which one's your favorite?
The Fire Within.
Oh, you gave it to the Wisconsin. That was the one you went off script with. There's only like 6 people in Wisconsin. How's she not?
Well, it could have been that or Joe Sanfilippo, right?
I mean, is that it?
Yeah. Yes.
I love it. Yay!
Yes, it was Tara Martin. Good job. That was great.
I redeemed myself.
Nice. She didn't catch that.
No, so
Mandy Freilich.
Totally Mandy, but we were going to ask questions about like CrossFit and stuff and go the Tara Martin route as well. But we're like, no, let's go Mandy Freilich just to try to throw you for whatever. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
So that's how you play the game. So obviously you can say the classroom that could be really cool because the kids have to know. They have to know the characters to either ask the questions and or to guess and to guide that person, right? So we were trying to guide you a little bit without having some fun without doing that. You did great though, like answering the questions, not knowing what the heck it was. So
well, and
it was fun.
Pedagogically, and I know this is something that I always do, and I apologize, Jeff, it's not in the script. But obviously, you can do it like with historical characters. You can do it with literature and characters from a book. But you can do it in math. Like the person that's up on stage is a number, right? Like the kids have to ask different questions to try to see if that person can guess the number or so many different cool things to do.
I love it. Well, I was thinking we're working with this teacher right now in our district on like creating a lesson for punctuation. I was thinking, and one of the things he does is he takes on the character of punctuation marks, like the ellipses or the semicolon.
Yeah, so you could be the question mark or whatever.
Yeah. And so like you could, so you could definitely do that with that too. That would that's super fun. I love it. And the thing that's interesting is that when I was formulating my answer to you, I was really like thinking about who I am. And so it's just this interesting thing that happens because I was trying to think and speak at the same time.
Trying to play along, but you're going like, okay, what are they emphasizing? What are they saying? Like, yeah.
Right.
Can I be honest? Dave, when I read the question about like why you always blush, I'm like, does the doll like blush? And then I'm like, oh, and when you said, I'm like, oh, it's right, he's red. That's why he did it. Come on, Jeff.
Can we do one more?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, okay.
But I'm sending you a text, and we're gonna put Jeff on the hot seat.
Oh, good.
All right. Okay. Interesting.
Turn on my.
This wasn't in the script. This isn't how we structured the show, Dave. You guys got it?
I don't have it yet.
Takes a while for the text to get all the way from Florida up to.
It's got to go. Whoop! It's got to go over the mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to do that.
Okay, got it. I got it.
All right. The questions, you, sir, in the hat. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So my first, it's kind of an awkward question, but you're shorter than I thought you were. Is that accurate? I mean,
I get that a lot. I get that a lot. I mean, sometimes the camera just makes me look a little taller, depending on who I'm standing with. But yeah, I'm typically shorter than most people think. Yeah. You up front.
I really love your aviators. Where do you buy them at?
Amazon. That's where I get everything. I wish I had a cooler place, but that's where I get all my aviators.
Okay.
With the ambassador shirt on.
So I apologize to go back here because I know this was an interesting time in your life, but you had this famous moment on Oprah that could have derailed your career. Most people dream about being on Oprah. You were on Oprah, and you might have been one of the first people to experience cancel culture, but you've found your way back. How have you done it?
You know, I wish I had the key. It's persistence, really. It's persistence. And I just continue going. And that's what, and Oprah helped me. She helped me get through that a little bit too. So I have no idea who this is. Yes, ma'am, in the front.
So do you always, you have the need for speed. Do you always like to go fast? I mean, or do you ever go slow sometimes?
Well, sometimes the days of thunder get in the way, right?
Yes,
I mean,
yeah, that's yeah, that's I'm there now. No, I'm always going fast. I'm always going fast.
Okay.
Yes.
It's interesting. I was going to say you are probably one of the few good men out there in Hollywood. So
I'm like trying to think. I'm like, oh, I forget. That's right. He jumped on the couch with Oprah and stuff, huh? I don't. I should have seen that come. That was a good one. That was a good Tom Cruise one. Really pop culture. Yeah.
See, it's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Top Gun. So
I always forget that he's short too. That he's shorter than you think. So like I did that one. And they connect. Interesting.
That's good.
It was a good one, Dave. I like that one.
Yeah, that's fun.
Good stuff.
That's a fun game.
That is a fun game.
To play at dinner now.
It's a fun game. I like it.
I'm gonna have my kids gather around the table tonight. We're gonna sit around and have some Dorito nachos and play press conference. I like it. Fun.
All right. That was a fun game. So make sure you go over to teachbetter.com/brainbreak and see those games as they continue to get the one that we played last week was on there. Wait, no. 2 weeks ago, who was on with me? We played Wordle. I had Jillian on, and we played Wordle.
Jillian Du Bois. Yeah, there you go.
She got me now to play Wordle every day now. My wife and I
play every morning. It's my morning routine now. It's part of my day.
I forgot to do it today, so obviously it's not part of my routine yet. But I usually wait if I forget. Like my wife and I, one of us does it and then sends texts it to the other, and so I got to get in there. But so fun games. So make sure you head over there, Dave. Let's get into what's going on. We got a lot of stuff going on with the team and other things. So let's see what's coming up. That's a fun little song too, isn't it? Like,
I love it. I love it. And we do have a lot going on. Like you said, a lot of things going on with the team. Tisha's got a lot of things going on in her world too. She's going to conferences and she's speaking and she's traveling all over the place. I know,
like really like all over the place too, not like to a couple states. She's going like all over the place.
The place.
Yes.
Again, I'm going to go off script because Ray's not here. So
it's not really
one of the things that we have going on right now is proposals are open for the Teach Better conference.
Yes.
In October, but proposals are open right now. Tisha, as somebody that gets to speak and share and do all the things in a bunch of different audiences, do you have any advice for people that might be thinking, "Oh, I want to submit a proposal, but I'm scared." Again, that idea of I don't have anything magical to share, or I do, but I don't know the first step, or how do I get noticed? Like, what advice do you have for people?
Yeah, absolutely. Do it. First of all, just do it. Get out there. Think about what you do, what you love, and guaranteed there is somebody that you might think that it's ordinary to you. I don't know if you've ever seen that Derek Sivers video. What is it? What's ordinary to you is, I don't know, not for others.
Extraordinary
it's
for
not
others. Extraordinary for others. Yep.
But it's true. Like, so sometimes we think that what we do is just normal. Everybody does it, but there's guaranteed somebody who's going to learn from what you have to share. So think about what it is that you love about teaching and learning, and put that proposal in. Think of a fun, catchy title that people are going to want to go see. Think about when you look at those conference sessions and you scroll through, like, what draws your attention, what makes you want to go to that particular session. But I would say my biggest recommendation is just to open up those proposals and do it, because you got to start somewhere. And I remember the first time that I presented, I remember it very, very clearly. And I was absolutely terrified to speak. And I remember for a month before, I was like, why did I do this? Why did I do this? And then I got up there and I got to share my passion. And I was like, sign me up again. Like, this was so fun getting to share my passion. And so that's, I guess, my other suggestion is making sure that you share about something that you love, something that you're passionate about, because it's just you're going to be so excited to be able to share that with whoever is in the session.
I love that. I love that in so many different ways. Just take that chance. And I'll tell you, for me, one of the things that held me back for such a long time was that imposter syndrome. I always felt like, but what I'm going to say is very similar to what somebody else already said. And nothing that I do is original. I stole it all from the other person across the hall. And who am I? And then I settled into realizing, well, no, we all do things just a little bit differently. All of our ideas come from somewhere. Yep. So it's a huge compliment to share. If I were to go to a conference and talk about magical things that I'm now doing because of something I've learned from you, that's a huge compliment to you. And then to also talk about what I might do in my situation, in my experience, in my room and classroom, school, whatever, and can add that extra little twist to it. It makes things that much more amazing. So I would challenge people, get rid of that imposter syndrome. Yep. And know that you are in charge of your classroom. You are in charge of your school and your space and who you are, and bring you to the conference. Think about what it is that makes you so amazing and amplify that message. Jeff Gargas, I know you've shared once or twice, right? What advice?
Yeah, I actually love. I'm just going to piggyback on top of that. I think my biggest thing is what Tish said. That little thing that you do that you think is just this little thing that I do. It's just that whatever. Like that could be the thing that literally changes the way someone else teaches. And I actually talk about this like in the one course where I talk about writing a book. Like I talk about this, but one of the things that I speak on actually is about increasing your impact, about going out and sharing what you do. And I tell a story about a teacher who we saw a massive impact with. I'm like, what if your little thing that you do in the morning, the way you start that silly bell ringer you do, or the way you end your class, or that whatever, what if that's the little thing that just was missing from someone else's class that changes the way they teach? Now your little stupid thing potentially is now impacting hundreds of kids every single year, giving them even if it's just a little bit different experience, just a little bit better, like it's better now. And for me, I'm like, just think about that and then go, okay, set that fear aside, because now like think about what if. So, I mean, worst case scenario, you get up there, you freeze, and you're embarrassed in front of a whole bunch of people, and you're miserable for 6 months afterwards. Like
then
that's
you are
the worst.
A legend. You're a legend. Imagine that. Seriously, you go up there and you had nothing to say. Oh my God.
So all right, I'm saying that, but I don't want anybody to say that
because go up there and drop the mic if that happens.
The reality is, if you got up there and froze, you know what? You're in a room full of a whole bunch of educators who are going to pick you up, and you're going to have a blast anyway. So like, there is no downsides. The worst case, you're going to meet 30 people that you have conversations with, like, or 10 people or 5 people. Like, just go do it. Like, go share it. Like, that's the only thing. Yes.
Drop the mic, and it's now.
Chad has said since day one that for every problem there is in a classroom anywhere, there's a solution in another classroom somewhere else. We just haven't shared it yet. It's like I love it. I love it, Tisha. That's awesome.
Yep. Good stuff.
Spot on. So proposals are open.
Yep.
I'm gonna write mine like this weekend. When do they close?
Not till end of April, so you got a little bit of time.
Okay.
But you should still write yours this weekend.
So you're telling
you
us
have a
that
lot
you're
going on. You should probably get
Oregon
it done.
all the way over to Ohio. You're gonna make that trip from Oregon to Ohio?
Absolutely. I have already have it on my radar I want to go. I want to go this year. So
awesome.
I'm going to make it happen. Yeah.
I'm going to publicly commit that if Tisha goes to Teach Better Conference, I will go to the Teach Better Conference. If she doesn't, I'm not going. You heard it here.
Is that supposed to be like an upsell or something?
I don't know. That actually might make her
not a value add.
Get selected. I'm going either way. But yes, that's awesome. Okay. So yes, submit your proposals, teachbetteratconference.com. What else is going on, Dave?
I think there's a new Academy course.
New Academy course? Yeah, it just came out not too long ago, which one are we talking about?
Grid method in elementary classroom?
Oh, with Amanda. Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Who's just a rock star running the grid method in an elementary classroom. So, and that's like a pretty common, that's questions we get all the time, and comment we get all the time is, what does this look like in an elementary classroom? And Amanda is the rock star, the pinnacle of what that looks like. So that's over at teachbetteracademy.com.
There you go. So
lots of stuff going on.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. Get your proposals in, go check out the course. Make sure you follow Tisha if you're not already. Because I assume you're gonna be able to follow her apparently all over the world as she leaves pictures and.
I'm going to throw this out at people. If you have spring break coming up right now, and you are one of those people that's looking at spring break like, oh my gosh, I just need some time off. I just need to recharge. Grab her book and take it with you to the beach or wherever you're going to sit, where you're going to be pondering, is this still for me? Should I still be doing this? Grab it, read it, and reflect. And if you don't leave with some new little nuggets, and you don't leave just feeling completely re-energized and thinking, okay, I can get through this. I've got some ideas to get me through the next three years. Call me and I'll refund you your money. So
I thought you were going to be like, no. It's call Dave and he'll explain the book to you because you obviously didn't read it properly.
Oh, I'm going to talk them out of why I don't think they deserve a refund. And I'm willing to make that commitment because I guarantee it. Because again, I read it when I was going through that a little bit of a phase, and I didn't even realize what I was going through when I read it.
Yeah.
And as I read it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is brilliant. This is amazing. So go on Amazon and get it, read it, and then know that you'll make it through these next few months. And then next year, you're just going to thrive.
I love it.
Thank you.
Awesome.
That's nice.
Well, I think we're going to wrap up. Thank you. Tisha, thanks for hanging out with us. Spend some time with us and sharing what's going on in your world and all the stuff you got going on. You got a lot of exciting stuff going on. So looking forward to watch your travels on your social and stuff like that. So
yeah.
Excited. Can I ask one last question before we let you go?
Yeah.
Another book in the works somewhere? Is there another book coming sometime? Like
No.
make learning magical, or like, is that a thing? Like
not.
Okay.
There's always thoughts.
Maybe a cookbook?
Circulating.
Because the enchiladas sounded good.
Not at the moment, but you never know. You never know what's ahead.
Dave, I think if we ask her enough, she'll write another one.
I know. Who knows what's going to happen on a girls' trip? There's lots of collaborations that could happen.
That's a good point.
So.
She's going with some good influences there, I'm sure. So, all right. Well, we appreciate you watching, whether you're watching live with us right now or watching on replay. We appreciate you being here. Tisha, thank you so much for hanging out with us and spending some time with us. And you, as always, for spending time with us. If you're watching, we will see you next week. We'll be back same time, same place, 5 o'clock Eastern time on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. Dave, you were here too, and that's something.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Tisha, we appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
We'll see y'all. Have a good week, guys.
Bye.